What is gravy, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. PS5 has been out for over 18 months now. In that time, I've bought quite a few games. Way more than I've actually played, I will admit. But as every good collector knows, not being able to play games doesn't stop you from getting even more. And so today I figured, hey, why not? I fancy a relax. I'll just take you through my PS5 physical collection. Obviously, there's quite a few, so I'm not going to linger on them too much. If there's any you want me to speak about in more detail, please do let me know down below. As always, if you're going to enjoy this video, then smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. And now, let's get to it. Okay, so normally, they are like behind me, but I can't keep turning around. I'll just knock something over. I'll probably pin to the table. So what we're going to do, I've got them all piled up on the floor in front of me. And I'd love to say they're in no particular order, but they're alphabetical because I am not a maniac. Okay, so first game I want to talk about, and it's kind of an important one to the channel, weirdly enough. If you are new, then you probably won't know. I started off doing Let's Plays, and that was a whole thing. And they are now gone, so you can't watch them anymore. Not that you'd ever want to, trust me. But the first one that I started on the channel was Alan Wake. And I ended up absolutely loving this game. I never played it on the 360, I believe it was a 360 exclusive. This was the first time it was coming to PlayStation. But I played Control, I loved Control. I've just now noticed there is a nick in the back of my case. I'm absolutely livid. In terms of the game, it holds up pretty well. I mean, the controls are janky and some of the writing's a bit weird, but it's Remedy, so the writing is supposed to be weird. But yeah, absolutely massively recommend this. If you like spooky games, if you like weird sort of fourth wall breaking, then absolutely give this a go. It is awesome. And the sequel's coming out, so get on it. Okay, next up we have, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Apsulov, End of Gods. Now, I picked this up from work kind of on a whim because I was in the mood to buy a game and it was kind of cheap. I think it was like £8. I believe it was pre-owned. It was probably pre-owned, second-hand, whatever you want to call it. And I had no idea what it was. I still really don't. I've not tried it yet. I really should. But it got quite good reviews from what I read. I'm sure people will correct me in the comments. Reading the back of it, it says, and I quote, "A Norse take on Doom or Dead Space." And if that doesn't sound like a great time, I don't know what does. So I'm very excited to get to that, hopefully in the near future. So Marvel's Avengers. I haven't played, as you can see, it's still sealed. I'm not sure if I ever will, to be honest. I mean, a couple of people have been asking me to sort of boost it with them because, I mean, I think the story's pretty fun, and even if it is short, I'm just not sure I've got it in me to go through all of that grind at the end. And I mean, it'd be fun to play as some of the heroes that you don't really get games of. Like, obviously we've got brilliant Spider-Man games, so I'm not going to touch the Spider-Man in this with a 10-foot pole. But it'd be cool to play like Hawkeye and like Ms. Marvel would be awesome. So I might jump into it. I'm not holding my breath. I picked it up because it was cheap. And it is what it is. Okay. Of course I was going to buy a physical copy of this. I don't care that they gave it us free when we got the PS5. I had to have this. I love this game. I'm calling you out, Trophy Pop. This game rules. I don't care about you coming months with it after 5 months. This game is awesome from the start. Get a hold of yourself. But seriously, if you haven't played it, go play Bugsnax. I'm keeping this sealed. I know it's probably not going to be worth money, but it's kind of cool to have. Just a little sealed copy of Bugsnax. And I mean, I've got the digital version. I don't ever need to open this. That's going to be a running theme, by the way. A few of these are going to be sealed purely because I wanted a physical version and I don't need to open them, so I'm not going to. Okay, next up, Dark Pictures House of Ashes. this was the second game that I tried to Let's Play on the channel, and was the first one that I finished. Clearly, it's quite a short game. But, I mean, it's probably my favourite of all of the Dark Pictures games. Obviously, that does not include Until Dawn, or the Quarry, which we will get to. But this was a really fun game. It was a really fun story. The characters were actually kind of likeable, which is, I'm not gonna lie, the Supermassive games I never really bond with the characters, not even in Until Dawn. I mean, they were just horror stereotypes in like flesh. Whereas in this, I kind of vibed with some of them. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, good game. Definitely recommend if you're a fan of those sort of narrative film-esque games. Pick it up. Ooh, Demon Souls. You knew I was gonna have this. I mean, if you had a PS5 at launch, you practically had to buy it because there wasn't really anything else. I believe this was the first PS5 exclusive game. Obviously, we've only had a handful of them, but man, if it wasn't a brilliant way to kick off the new generation. The game is stunning. Bluepoint absolutely killed it. And I never got to play the original Demon Souls because I didn't really care for it. Like those sorts of games on the PS3, I just sort of played what we had, being young and all that jazz. But going back to this, absolutely love it. And if you're on PS Plus Extra, this is free. Play it. You can have it. It's yours. You've already got it. So there's no excuse. But I had to have a physical copy of that. Now, this is the sore spot. And this is the one that's probably going to get me shot out of a cannon somewhere. Elden Ring. I have 2 copies of this. In fact, open copy, sealed copy. Because I'm a lunatic and forgot that I actually pre-ordered the game twice. But I haven't finished it. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure if I will. I might get around to it eventually down the line. It is not high on my priority list. And the reason is, it didn't grip me. I love the FromSoft games, I do. I love Bloodborne, clearly. Just got the platinum. Absolutely love that game. Gushed about it for a good 15 minutes, something like that. But this, I bounced off. And I think it's because it's an open world game. And I know that sounds really weird, and I know everyone loves how they did the open world in this, but when I play From Software games, I really like the linear path and the interwoven setting, and this just didn't have that. And I mean, you can crucify me all you want, but I'm just saying what I think. Will I platinum it? Maybe. Have I just realised there is absolutely no writing on the back of this? I'm not sure if there's supposed to be. Maybe it was because it was part of a collector's edition. Who knows? But yeah, there's my spicy take for the day. Okay, so you'd have thought after Vice Valhalla I'd have learned to not buy Ubisoft games, but clearly I didn't. And as you can see, I've not actually played this yet. But I'm going to justify this by saying I prefer the Far Cry series. I kind of do. I kind of like the mindless sort of FPS style of it. I sort of think of them in the same way as I think of Borderlands, in the first-person shooters that don't necessarily act like a first-person shooter, and you can just go round and destroy things and kill a bunch of people, which is kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if it wasn't, we wouldn't play these sorts of games, would we? So, yeah. Plus Giancarlo Esposito's in it, so, yeah. There's the thing. Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade, whatever else abbreviations they want to put on the end of it. What else can I say about this? I mean, I haven't really played the PS5 version. I played the PS4 version, got the platinum. Accidentally auto-popped the platinum for this. Not anymore though, new account. Gonna do this again at some point, possibly before the sequel drops. We shall see. But yeah, I don't need to say anything. Play it. Just go play it. Just do it. Same with this one. Just go play it. Just go play Ghost of Tsushima. It's brilliant. It's magical. It's got incredible combat. Just do it. So I didn't need to buy this again, like a lot of these games. I own the PS4 version digitally. I bought it during the pandemic. In fact, I think I was isolating and I wanted a new game to jump into, and I finished it during my isolation period. But I absolutely love this game, and I wanted a physical version of it. So when they announced the director's cut on PS5, I was, might as well just buy that one. Plus, it comes with the DLC, so you know. But big recommend, if you haven't got to us yet, do it. Just do it. It's a really good game. It's a really good platinum. If you want a good video to watch, this type of platinum journey, he's got you covered. He's always got you covered. Just go play now. Y'all know my thoughts on this one. If you don't, I made a video. Go watch that rather than this, and then come back to this. I'm watching. You back? Good. Fun game, bloated open world, but it was cool, and I kind of enjoyed it, at least for the most part. And obviously, bought it physical. Why not? Had to. I don't know what else to say about it, to be honest, other than it's going to live on the shelf for the rest of eternity. That cannot be said for this one, because I absolutely loved Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought this game was incredible, especially considering that before it came out, I genuinely didn't care. I thought it looks mediocre, the combat looked a bit janky, Marvel's Avengers was garbage, and it was Square Enix doing it again, so I, like a lot of people I assume, just wrote it off. And then the reviews started to drop, and the review said, it's actually really good. So I thought, sod it. Picked up a copy, played through it, got the platinum. Fantastic game. The combat is a bit janky, and it does leave a bit to be desired, but the story and the way they characterise the Guardians is fantastic, and absolutely worth a go, trust me. Okay, following on from Guardians, we have Hades. Now, firstly, can I just say, this is possibly one of my favourite covers of any game ever. It just looks beautiful, and the reflectiveness of the print is just beautiful. But it's another one that I've not finished. As you said, there's going to be a running theme right now. I really enjoyed the game, what I played. I kind of had a bit of an issue with it, and that was when I started this game, I'd only just started making YouTube videos, and in my opinion, at the time, every game I played I had to do content with, otherwise it wasn't worth playing. So I was trying so hard to make some sort of video for Hades, like a first impressions or something like that, and it wasn't coming together, and it really soured the experience of trying to play this game, which was amazing. It's such a good game, and I ruined it for myself. At some point I am absolutely going to get back to this. I've heard nothing but good things, and I need to finish a run, because I never got to the first time. I got to the third area and kept dying. So this thing is going to be platinum at some point. You heard it here first. I'm not sure the same can be said for Hitman. I'm not gonna lie, I bought this simply for the sake of having a PS5 game. I've never played any of the Hitman games, at least not the most recent ones. Was it World of Assassination trilogy or something? I think I played like Absolution back on the 360. It looks incredible. It looks incredibly fun. Watching the PS Access stream of Rob getting the Platinum Trophy and having to do all those cool, insane things in the, is it Dartmoor level? Looked amazing, looked really fun, and maybe at some point I'll get to it. But time's just really limited, and I'd love to get to it and sink however many hours are required to get like actually really good at the game, but I just don't think I have that time yet. Maybe in the future though. Y'all knew I had to have this one. And of course it's sealed because I've bought 3 copies of this one. So I bought the collector's edition, as you can tell from my elephant. It didn't have a disc, so I also bought a disc. And then I was worried that my collector's edition wasn't going to turn up on launch day, so I also bought it digitally. And yeah, so this is going to stay sealed. I mean, I've got the digital copy, I don't need to open this. like I said, with Bugsnax. And I mean, it's just nice to have a sort of pristine example copy of a game I absolutely loved. So, yeah, keeping that one right where it is. Ubisoft are back again. Oh, jeez. This one's better. I'll give it that. Immortals is more fun than modern Assassin's Creed. It just is. The problem is I tried playing this after Valhalla, and that game just ruined Ubisoft for me. I mean, the problem is there's just too much stuff. There's just too much stuff that needs doing. I might just finish the main story, but then I might not. I don't know. It's just yeah. Right, now this one, I was really disappointed. I had such high hopes. As you all know, I absolutely love Little Nightmares. So when I saw the trailer for A Nightmare, I thought, that looks really cool. That looks right up my alley. It's sort of really creepy Tim Burton-esque horror with small people trying to get through the world, puzzles, platforming, all of that good stuff. And it just wasn't that good. I mean, granted, I didn't get very far, and the reason I didn't get very far is because I checked the trophy guide, and at launch it was completely broken and couldn't be finished. So I just put it down, and I figured I'll go back to it when it's fixed. But I'm not sure if I will. I was just a bit let down, but to be honest, it's probably my own fault for hyping it up so much in my head. Especially comparing it to Little Nightmares, which, again, I adore. But, yeah. It was an interesting looking game, and I might finish it, I might not finish it. Would I recommend it? Probably not. I mean, it is what it is. It's a shame, because I feel like it could have been like one of my favourites. But, oh well. This next one, on the other hand, is one that I'm really looking forward to. And it could end up being the same situation as in Nightmare. It could be really good. I haven't looked at reviews for it. I haven't looked at anything for it, actually. I just picked it up because it was there. It's called In Sound Mind. I mean, I think it's first person. It looks creepy as hell. Like, yeah, I think I saw a trailer for it, like, a while ago. And then it just sort of came out and I didn't realise. And I've not jumped into it yet. But I did unseal it because I'm going to play it at some point. Possibly for a future video. We shall see. But yeah, creepy. All that good stuff. First person, terrifying. Gotta love it. Eye of Judgement. Now, I had never played Yakuza games prior to the PS5. We shall get to my one Yakuza game in a minute. But I've heard really good things about Judgment. And if I'm remembering correctly, this is going to be the sort of brawler version of that franchise going forward, and Yakuza are going to stick with the Like a Dragon formula and be more JRPG-esque, and figured I'd pick this up. I've not played it yet. I know for a fact the Platinum's like 100 hours, if not a bit more. I think you have to play through the game twice on like a really hard difficulty the second time. And as well, I've heard the drone challenges are really, really annoying. So, yeah. But I'm very excited to get into it. It's one that I'm looking forward to. When I have the time, I'll sit down and I'll jump into this. Another game that is sealed and is staying that way, Kena, Bridge of Spirits. I made a whole video on this game as well. If you want to go watch that, go check that out and then come back. I'll be waiting. I guarantee it. But when they announced that they were doing a physical release, I had to. I just did. I mean, I pre-ordered the digital version because I wanted to play it day one. But I had to. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at Kena. Oh, bless her. Look at the little rock. Look at the rock. Look at him. Ignore the ring light. Look at him. I absolutely adore this game. It's just so good. It's screamingly hard at points, but it's so much fun. And, I mean, you've seen it. You know it looks like a Pixar film, so how could you not want that? And it's pristine. And it's staying that way. Forever. Unlike LEGO Star Wars. I'm never going to play this again. It was boring. I'll be honest. I was incredibly bored. I got through the first 6 films and was on the 7th, and I was just like, is this not finished yet? There's over 1,000 like bricks in, and I'm just not. I had such high hopes for this, and I'd heard that it was like the Lego game, like the best Star Wars Lego that they've ever made. And each of the films lasts about 5 minutes. Like, they cut so much out. It's just, yeah. Kind of regret buying this. I should probably kind of regret buying this, because I haven't touched it since I got it. I got it quite early. It was another one where I was like, I'm not sure how many like copies of this they're going to be. It came in a fancy box, which is somewhere on my shelves, with like an art book and things, and that's pretty cool, and I like art books, so I figured I'd buy it. And the game looks really cool in terms of like Souls-ish, sort of kind of unique actually, and it does look really interesting, and I really like the art style, and the weapons look fun. It's just, again, finding the time to actually get to all these games, as I will also make time to play Outriders finally. I really almost bought this at launch. But, I mean, I played the beta. I enjoyed the beta. It was fun. It was kind of cool. But I'd never played a looter shooter before, and at the time, I'm not going to lie, I didn't have any friends to play with. So I just didn't bother. And now that I actually have friends that play games, I might jump back into this. Especially with the new DLC out. World Slayer, I think it's called, which the box art looks amazing for that one. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't wait and just buy that, but I got this second hand for about £8 again, so I can't really complain too much. It is what it is. It'll be done eventually. One that I didn't put to one side and played straight away is the Pathless. Now, I didn't buy it at launch because I think this came out almost exactly at the start of the PS5 generation. I think I waited a few months to pick it up, but this game is just incredible. It is gorgeous. The flow of it, everything works so well. And in terms of the trophies, the platinum's pretty straightforward. You have to do everything in the world, and you have to get all the abilities type things, but there's nothing too difficult. And I mean, like I said, the game's just incredible. You're basically like an archer, and you move through the world by shooting these like floating gems with your bow, and that speeds you up, and it's just a whole thing. And yeah, and the art style's incredible as well, so who can complain about that? And this might be the last one that's staying sealed. This one's staying sealed for a very specific reason, and that is because it is a unique artwork, I believe. A Plague Tale: Innocence. I absolutely love this game. I'm definitely going to get the platinum for this again on my new account, possibly just in time for the sequel. So, Sobo Studios, hit me up. I absolutely had to pick this up. I didn't have a physical copy again. I had the PS4 digital version. So when I saw there was a PS5 version, and it was a PS5 version with a different artwork that I think you had to buy from Focus Home Interactive, like their storefront. I just love it. Like, the art style is just incredible. Look at that. What a cover. So that's absolutely staying sealed. That's one of my favourite things that I have on PS5, and I'm absolutely going to buy the different artwork of the sequel if they do that. But we'll see. Anyway, play a Plague Tale. Definitely play this. Okay, the most recent addition to the collection is the Quarry, and I am very, very close to the platinum now. If you aren't aware of any of the discussion around this, the platinum was buggy as hell. There was basically one trophy where, if you've ever played any of Supermassive's games, you'll know, at the end of each chapter, you get sort of a conversation with a narrator, and they offer to give you advice, and their advice is, this is something that might happen if you make this choice, and there's a trophy in this for saying no every single time. And the requirements for said trophy were a mystery. No one actually understood how it was supposed to work. People were racking their brains. People were uninstalling the game, downloading the vanilla version, and like replaying the game. It still wasn't popping. Like, I think for at least a couple of weeks, this was at like 0.03% on PSN profiles or something. And as it turns out, I think the requirements are buggered, because you need to say no to her more times than you physically can in one playthrough. But basically, someone found a workaround. You can quit out to the main menu after saying no and reload in, and it counts it as 2. So I managed to do that. I'm almost at the end of my third full playthrough. I've got this left, and then I've got one more, which is for making sure I hit in every combat encounter, which is kind of easy because you can turn auto aim on inaccessibility and just let the game do it for you. So that should be a nice breeze to the Platinum Trophy. But latest edition, I might do a full video on this one, so I'm not going to say anything more than that. But I've enjoyed it more playing it more. I'll just say that. Okay, another absolute must-have if you have a PS5, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This game, it may be a tech demo, like it kind of is. It's very short. It was built specifically to showcase the PS5 and the SSD and things like that. And it's still fantastic. I don't even care. I've kind of moaned about the trophy list in this before, specifically in This Dad's Platinum Journey's video about this game, where I added a little bit of spice to the proceedings, but it's still fantastic. Anyone that says this game is not brilliant is lying to you. They simply are. Or something else. I don't know. But absolutely play it. It's quick, it's easy. You can get the platinum in like 1.03 runs, because you need to start New Game Plus in order to buy the final weapon. But it is what it is. Absolutely brilliant game. Rivet is awesome. Please, Insomniac, make more games with her in. Okay. Oh, we're getting towards the end of the pile now. I'm having to lean even further to reach them. It doesn't do me back any good, because I'm not a young man anymore. So not a young man, in fact, that this game gives me anxiety. So, for literally over a year, I didn't touch Returnal. And I bought it at launch, I pre-ordered it, and then it just sat there, not being played, for over a year. But I finally jumped into it, and it plays immaculate. It does. It's just fabulous how good it is. The problem is I am not good at it, and therefore I just keep dying. I think I struggled through the first area, and then I just can't get through the second. We tried it in co-op, me and Jontis, and I still couldn't do it. I just can't beat the enemies in the second area. I think we tried the second area boss once. Maybe one day. This can be one to strive towards at some point. So, Riders Republic. I've kind of explained this before in one of my trophy list review videos. I have no intention of ever platinuming this game. I just want a sports, like, fun, sporty game to enjoy and just jump into for half an hour. And I've always been more of a fan of, like, extreme sports than, you know, football or things. He says with over, like, 300 hours in separate FIFA games. It's just a really fun game, and there's so many different sports in it. You've got cycling, like wingsuiting, snowboarding, skiing, all of them with like different sort of like tweaks and nuance to them. The control scheme is arse, I'm not gonna lie, but it's just a fun game to blast around in for a few hours though. It's also online only, so just remember that. Scarlet Nexus. This game really surprised me, because, I mean, it looked cool. It's the most anime thing I think I've ever played, outside of the 5 minutes I played of Persona 5. But it's awesome. It really is just awesome. The trophy guide does require you to play through twice, because you have to play through as 2 different protagonists. The stories are slightly different in like quite significant ways at certain points. But after 30 odd hours playing through the first time and trying to get as many trophies as I could, I'm sort of taking a breather before I jump into the second playthrough. Even though, and this is something I didn't realise, you can carry over all of your levels and everything from the end of the first playthrough into the second, sort of like a New Game Plus. But I'm pretty sure the enemies don't scale, so you sort of just breeze through it, and yeah. I'm not sure how that works, but it's going to be fun to find out. The only thing about this game that dragged it down for me was the final chapter, the final couple of chapters, or phases as the game calls them. I think it was the last one. It just really dragged on too long in my opinion. It was just a bunch of random fights against the most annoying enemies from the entire game shoved into one room, and you could have literally cut all of it out and made it a sort of 2-minute cutscene of the exposition and then us getting to the final encounter. We didn't need all that. So that kind of soured it a little bit for me, but the actual ending of the game picked it back up. And I can't wait to get the platinum. It's a really, really fun game. Highly recommend. Okay, your eyes do not deceive you. This is a regular disc copy of Sifu. No, these don't exist. I have my ways, okay? Basically, I got the Vengeance edition. I wanted a regular copy to go on the shelf because you guys know me, I'm weird. And so I picked one up, sneakily. I have yet to play this either, which is kind of annoying, but it's also a very intimidating game. It looks immaculate. It looks like something I could really sink into, and I mean, I imagine mastering this game feels incredible. But again, time in, kind of need to make some significant time in order to actually get into this game. The last thing I want to do is bounce off it, like I have done so many times with so many other games. So yeah, very much looking forward to this. Had to pick it up. Obviously had to wait for a physical copy because, you know, it's important. Okay, only a couple of games left now, and another launch game, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Obviously I had to have this. It's just the standard edition. I did not fork out for the Ultimate edition. I kind of wish I had, because I kind of wish I had the PS5 version of 2018 Spider-Man, but I'm still hoping at some point for a physical release. Come on, Insomniac, please. Just give me another disc of 2018 Spider-Man on PS5 with the updated Peter Parker. Please, just do it. Obviously people have their own opinions about this game. Some say it's glorified DLC. I kind of see where they're coming from. It is the exact same map. It's just winter, and it's kind of the same mechanics. But I like the fact that I didn't really know anything about Miles before I played the game, and obviously everyone in the grandma knew what was going to happen, at least to some extent in 2018 Spider-Man. You knew who Dr. Octopus was. So yeah, it was kind of cool to have the air of mystery still about this one. And the platinum's super easy, like super easy. You literally have to play through the game twice. It takes you a couple of hours, and yeah, I think it's about a 15-hour platinum at the most, so well worth picking up. Okay, so we've got 3 games left. This is the last one that's still sealed. Spirit of the North. Now, again, bought this because it looked really, really just nice. It just looks lovely. I mean, I obviously haven't played it yet because it's still sealed, but I mean, you get to play as a fox. Is that a fox? I think it's a fox. And it just looks really, like, relaxing. You know those sort of games where you just put it on and just exist in it for a little bit. And I've been saving that for the time when I really, really need a game like that. So, yeah. Very much looking forward to this. As I am also looking forward to Subnautica Below Zero, which, I'm not going to lie to you, I completely forgotten that I actually own this. I only remembered a couple of weeks ago when I looked at the shelf and I was like, when did I buy that? But I really, really loved the first Subnautica. It was my first survival game that I played, so when I realised there was a sequel, you know, I had to pick this up. And I've heard up and down things from people about this game. It does look like more of the same, which I'm not going to complain about. But, you know, it just looks incredible. And Subnautica in itself is incredible. Base building, running away from terrifying creatures. What more could you ask for? And so we've come to our final game, Yakuza Like a Dragon. My first ever Yakuza game. I'd played Dragon Quest before? Did I play Dragon Quest 11 before or after this? Bugger. Either way, this plays like a Dragon Quest game. This is amazing. I don't care if you don't like JRPGs, just play this game. It's like a JRPG set in the real world with real world problems and real world weapons of various descriptions. Cover your eyes, kids. But it is ludicrous, it is hilarious, it is absolutely batshit off its rocker, and I loved every second of it. The platinum is pretty tough, there's a lot of grinding involved, you have to get all your characters to max level, you have to get like 5 jobs to max level for each character just to survive the final tower, which now that I'm saying it, I'm pretty sure I've said this in another video, but it is what it is. Play this game, it's so good. Ichiban is hilarious and lovable and really well juxtaposed with the rest of the cast, so yeah. Given how gritty and dark a Yakuza game could be, I love the fact that they're all just insane. It's just brilliant. Plus, if you've ever played Yakuza before, you'll definitely recognise some faces. I got hyped, and I've never played them before, so that's all I'll say. And that is going to do it. That is my entire PS5 physical collection. Make sure to let me know down below what you think of any of my pickups, any of the games that I have in my collection, any games that I have that you think I should absolutely prioritise playing right now. And if you want to crucify me for my Elden Ring thoughts, then please do over on Twitter. It will be hilarious and I will have a good laugh. If you want to talk more about games, then I'm part of a fantastic Discord at the Platpad over on Twitter. Make sure to head over there and send us a message and we shall hook you up. If you want to see more from me, there is another video right over there, and make sure that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss another upload. As always, I have been Pete, and I shall catch you all in the next video.